a failing restaurant, and he was remodeling it at night between, we were open and he was remodeling it, and then we'd close and we'd stay and remodel till late into the night, go to bed, get up, do it all the next day like that. And it was going like this. And we finally had staff that was trained, and I knew what I was doing, and it was going okay. But about 3 months in, he said to me, how's it going at the restaurant with the homeschooling? And I said, well, honestly, I feel like either we have to do something different with the restaurant, or else we need to send the kids to school this next semester, because I don't have enough time to do both justice to both. And if the kids are fine, but I don't feel like this is the best decision. So he said, well, let's make the change at the restaurant. So he implemented what we call the Send Marnie Home bonus. And so what was happening is whenever people got sick or couldn't come to work for whatever reason, they'd call me. I'd drop everything and I'd go work, anywhere from a 6 to 10 hour shift over there to cover for this person who couldn't come. And so that was highly disruptive, of course, to everything else. And so what we did is we implemented this bonus where if they worked all of their own hours, so I would make up the schedule in advance. If they all worked their own hours or covered their own hours with a sub that was of equal, ability level, like a team leader or whatever, then they wouldn't call me, and they could get up to 6% of their income for that month as a bonus if they would send me home instead of having me cover their hours. Well, that turned the whole thing around, Gail. I mean, it was just unbelievable how fast they could figure it out once it was incentivized. And this is so important for managers to understand. Your people can probably do far more than they're doing if they will understand the importance of it, and you will give them an incentive to do it.
Well, I think it's very interesting. I mean, that was a very clever way. Congrats to your husband. But I think that this is so true. I mean, there are so many people that give up so easily, and it's so much simpler for them to say, oh, I can't do this, or I don't feel well. Now, I don't think you should go to work sick, or especially in the restaurant business, you should not infect anyone. But there are a lot of people who just let little things bother them. And I was going to ask you, my next question was, what do you say to the person who wants to keep pursuing their dreams, but they are faced with one setback after another, whether it's financial or, circumstantial or insane scheduling or impossible hurdles or illness or whatever it happens? What do you say to those people who say, we just can't get to first base?
Well, first of all, I would say welcome to goal achievement, because that is how it is. I think if you ever read a story of anyone who is a success, read an Olympian's story. Read the story of any successful person, and you will find along the way many, many failures. Most of the we'd say today billionaires, most of the people that we look up to in the financial world have actually gone bankrupt one or several times. Before they arrive there, you don't just get to go from idea to reality all in one big step and just arrive there. I like to encourage people that there's all kinds of types of progress. You can be taking a baby step. You could be taking a gigantic or a quantum leap. You could be running really fast. You might be walking very slowly, or you might be resting and recharging. You might even be stuck in a traffic jam for a really long time, or on a big detour that feels like a huge setback that you just can't get around. But no matter which thing is happening to you in this moment, as long as you are clear about where you're going, you're fine. Just stay going toward that. So even when you're stopped dead still in a traffic jam, as long as your nose is pointed in the right direction, you're okay. You're all right. So I would just say, just hang in there, keep your goal very clearly in focus, and then go forward toward it. Now, there is one thing that you can know, that if your goal is getting out of focus, or if it's becoming too big, maybe too consuming, you're going to be able to identify that, because it's going to consume you. It's going to alienate you from the people you love, and it's going to sap you of all of your resources. So what shouldn't happen in goal pursuit is that it devastate you. Okay, in goal pursuit, it may cost everything you have, but it shouldn't devastate you. And when you get to the point where you are actually becoming so consumed by your goal that you can't see around it, that's when you need to make a change. And maybe do this little exercise with me because I love this. It helps me to keep things very clear, and hopefully it can help you too. But just go ahead and put your hands up and in front of you, like you're reading a big newspaper, okay? And you've got this newspaper in front of you, and it's consuming all your vision. So, Gail, behind this newspaper that's in front of your eyes right now, what can you see? Can you see past it?
Not really.
No, all you can see is the newspaper. Now fold it in half and just put your hands together over the newspaper right in front of you, like praying hands. Now
Yeah,
what can you see?
Yeah, you see a lot more.
Now you see everything, right? Your goal
Yeah,
is still
exactly.
right there. It's still right there in front of you, but it's not consuming you. And that's what we really have to be careful of, that our goals do not begin to consume us. Because at the end of the day, the achievement of a goal isn't everything. The achievement of a goal is just something.
Well, it's interesting because there are many stories about Olympians who have practiced not days or months, but years and years and years and years for their 3 minutes on the ice,
Right.
or over
Right.
the on the track, or whatever it happens to be, and it's really become an entire consuming life for their 3 minutes and seconds of fame. Very often the time that differentiates the winner or the second place is like a half a second. I mean, it's so
Right.
minute you can't even imagine it. So it's very important to keep your eye on the ball. Well, we have a few minutes left, and I want to talk a little bit about bad habits. What do you think is the best way to break a bad habit?
I really encourage people to recognize a bad habit as if it's a freight train going 100 cars long, going 50 miles an hour straight toward where you've always told it to go. Okay? So this train is just doing what you've told it to do in the past. Go this way. That's a habit. Okay? Now, what we want to do is when we want to break a habit, we want to say, stop. Turn on a dime. Go the other way. I don't want to do that habit anymore. I'm done with it. But unfortunately, your mind is very powerful, and it cannot turn that fast typically. Now sometimes if you have a massive heart attack or something, it can actually turn that fast because it recognizes the need. But typically, the mind is going to take longer to turn. So the best way to do it, Gail, is to tackle the smallest little turn at a time. Just say, okay, maybe I'm going to try to quit smoking, and I'm smoking a pack a day right now. Okay, well, let's just take out one cigarette. Let's just take out one cigarette. Or let's just say, I typically always smoke at this time, and let's be able to smoke any other time, but not at this time, at that one time. And just teeny little turns, and that's going to get you there. And we're very impatient as people. We have to become patient in order to overcome bad habits.
Fantastic. Well, you can tell that Marnie is just a wealth of information, and you need to go to her website, which is Marnie, MARNIE.com. Don't leave the E off, MARNIE.com, because you will find a lot of free stuff there for you. You will find a lot of her information, her books, things like this. I think she's a person you need to have in your life. So I think you should go there, see what she has to offer, and take advantage of some of the information that's there, because it's going to help you live a better life. Well, now we have about a minute left, Marnie. Is there anything that you would like to leave our audience with?
Oh, I would. Actually, the definition of crisis, it's a Chinese word with two characters. The one means danger and the other means opportunity. And I really just love helping people overcome obstacles, pursue their dreams, and revitalize their relationships on the way toward their God-given goals. And I'm just so grateful to be here, Gail, and thanks you guys for listening, and I'd love to connect with you later.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Marnie, and thank all of you for listening to Women in Business, the show that brings you women entrepreneurs and senior managers. I hope you enjoyed our show today, and please connect with me on Facebook and Twitter, and be sure to download my ebook, Life Lessons from an SOB, on my website, spunkyoldbroad.com, where you can find information on my speeches, coaching, and resources. You can also email me at Gail Carson, that's Gayle, Carson13 @gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.